Samwise here, your local community herbalist, and today we're doing the meditation of the month, which is working with chronic pain. And yeah, I work with some chronic pain, and you might work with some chronic pain, and that pain may be different. I want to just note that I'm not an expert in pain management. I'm just excited to share what I've been using to help manage some pain when it comes up. And there's lots of different kinds of pain. There's like sharp pain, kind of like dull, constant pain, and the pain that I'm going to be talking about in this video is the kind of pain that kind of rises and crests and releases like a wave. And so if that is helpful for you, great. And if that is not helpful for you, I encourage you to let whatever doesn't apply go. And if something applies, great. But yeah, pain is a communicator and can communicate a lot of different things. And so one of the big things that I like to do in working with pain is to reframe it as my body is trying to tell me something, and that can look really different in different contexts. That could be telling me something that I already know, and I can say thank you, body, for letting me know that is still an issue that is healing and that we're working on. It could be letting me know something new, like if I'm stretching and like kind of like a good stretch starts to feel like a sharp pain, then I'm going to back up off of that because my body's telling me that's a little bit too far. But yeah, sometimes there is just pain and it's chronic and it's relatively constant, and so these are some techniques that I've been working with recently, and so here they are. So the big one that I use is working with the breath, and if you've been following these videos, the breath that I'm going to reference is the water breath, and there's a video that I've made a couple months back for the meditation of the month on that, if you want a refresher on how to work with that breath. But ultimately it's being conscious of breathing in through the nose, and then if it's helpful to hold for a couple of beats at the top of the breath, and then releasing through the mouth. Sometimes with pain I don't hold at the top of the breath, but I really focus on breathing out through the mouth and releasing any excess pain or energy out through the out breath, and then kind of like making my breath a little bit more like making my mouth a little bit narrower, and like kind of making my breath into a more concentrated stream, and then visualizing releasing pain as I'm doing that. And then the other thing that I am doing is a little bit of a form of sympathetic magic. In my lineage, in the Pennsylvania Dutch lineage, the right hand is for like doing or like applying, and the left hand is for releasing. So what I'll do if I'm experiencing pain that I'm familiar with, and that it kind of rises and falls, is as it's rising and kind of building, to place my hand on like something, this is my left hand that's releasing, on something wooden or metal or stone, or if I don't have that, if it's plaster, that's fine. But I'm moving that energy of pain through my left side, through my left hand, and I'm also using the breath work at the same time. So it might look something like, kind of getting somewhat comfortable or like somewhat grounded in the rest of my body, and then breathing in through the nose, and then I'm placing my hand this is the wall in my loft apartment. I'm placing my hand on something that I want to release pain through, and as I'm doing the out breath, I'm letting go and like directing my energy and directing excess pain, directing that excess communication that I'm already aware of out through my hand and through my breath, and it looks like usually like this. So usually the out breath is a lot longer than the in breath, but you can play around with that. I encourage you to give it a shot if you work with some chronic pain. And again, the pain may still be there, and this is a tool that I use to notice how pain changes over time, like in those moments of like cresting and releasing. So that I have something to do with my body while I'm noticing that pain, and who's to say if I'm actually like releasing pain out of my hand, or like, I know very little about sympathetic magic. It's something I'm learning more about these days, but the idea is you transfer energy from one thing to another thing, and in the Pennsylvania Dutch tradition, that sometimes looks like transferring like illness or disease from like a being to like a stone that you then bury. So it has a history, and I haven't really used it like that, but this is like the way that I use that idea the most, is the transferring and releasing of pain to something like inert that's going to ground that energy back into the earth. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. I'd be curious if you experiment with that, what you find. And just want to do a big thank you to all of my patrons. We have a bunch more new folks this month, which is really exciting. I hope everyone's enjoying their flower essence and oxymol zines. And really big gratitude to all the folks that make this work possible, and for being in community with me around healing and magical practice. And look forward to talking to you next time. All right, take care.